Hi guys, so we're going to be doing the March Madness bracket. Um, and let's get into it. We got two games going on right now. You got Louisville versus Creighton, so 8 versus 9 right now playing live. There's a few games today. Purdue and High Point are playing today right now. Also, Purdue is 4, High Point is 13. We're going to be doing that. I didn't do the bracket earlier because there's a few games that determine a few of these matchups. So let's get into it. Auburn versus Alabama. Here I don't see a Alabama State. I don't see a upset. So I'm going to go with Auburn. So we're going to put here Auburn. Louisville Creighton. This one, I kind of think that Creighton will win. So I'm going to put Creighton here. It's a kind of a upset, but not really. Creighton, 9. Michigan against San Diego, UC San Diego. I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to go with Michigan here. And I will get a few upsets here. There's always upsets, so I'm going to take you a few upsets. Texas A&M versus Yale. I kind of want to take Yale, but I'm going to go with the safest here. Texas A&M. Ole Miss versus North Carolina. I would totally take North Carolina, but they're not that great this year. I'm going to take Ole Miss. Iowa State versus Lipscomb, 14. 3 versus 14. I'm going to take Iowa State. So far, not a lot of upset, but I'll have a few here. Marquette versus New Mexico. This is where my upset is. I'm going to take New Mexico. Michigan State versus Bryan. Number 15, I'm going with Michigan straight. Then we have Florida versus Norfolk State. I'm going to go with Florida. I don't see the upset there. Whoa, I don't know how to spell Florida. UConn versus Oklahoma. This one's going to be very close, but I'm taking UConn. Memphis versus Colorado State. I kind of want to take Colorado State here, but Memphis is very, very good. So I'm going to take Memphis. So far, no upset. Maryland versus Grand Canyon. I'm going to get Maryland here for Maryland. Now we have Missouri 6 versus 11 Drake. Now I'll take an upset. I'll take Drake. I might regret that, but it's okay. Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington. 3 versus 14. I'm taking Texas Tech. Kansas versus Arkansas. This one, I'm going to take Arkansas. Yeah, I'm taking 10. San John versus Omaha. I'm going with San John here. Alright, so we got a few teams here. We're going to go, we got the second round ready here. We're going to go this way here. Duke versus Montgomery. Montgomery just got in. I don't see them beating Duke though. So I'm going to take Duke here. Mississippi State versus Baylor. I'm taking Baylor. 9 here. Oh, my crown is not working very well. Baylor. Oregon versus Liberty. Yeah. Oregon. Number 4, Arizona State versus Akron, number 13. I don't see Akron, so I'm going to put Arizona. Bayou versus VCU. I'll take Bayou. Wisconsin versus Montana. Montana, I like Montana, but I don't see them beating Wisconsin. St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. I'm going to take Vanderbilt there. Vanderbilt. Alabama versus Robert Morris. I don't see Robert Morris winning that. Alabama. Houston. Right now, I'm not going to take another team than Houston right now. SIU, Edwardsville versus Houston. I don't see Edwardsville beating them. Houston, number 1. Gonzaga versus Georgia. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Clemson versus McNeese. Right here, also, I'm taking Clemson. Purdue versus High Point. High Point just, they're playing right now. I'm taking Purdue, though. I don't see, they have to really do very wrong to not go far. Illinois versus Xavier. Xavier just did it. So I'm going to actually go with Xavier. I know I'll have a lot of bad comments here, but I'm going to take Xavier. We need some upset, and I think Xavier might be one of them. Kentucky versus Troy. I don't see Troy, so I'm going to take Kentucky. UCLA versus Utah State. I'm actually taking Utah State. Tennessee versus Wofford. So 2 versus 15. I'm taking Tennessee. I don't see. Alright, so we got the second round already here. We're going to do the second round. You got Auburn versus Creighton. I'm still taking Auburn on this. It'll be very close, but I still think Auburn beats Creighton. Michigan versus Texas A&M. I'm taking Michigan on this one. Michigan. So they're going to Sweet 16. Ole Miss versus Iowa State. I'm taking I'm taking Ole Miss. New Mexico versus Michigan, so number 10 against number 2. I'm taking Michigan. Michigan State. Florida, number 1 versus UConn. I kind of think UConn will beat them. I'll have a lot of bad message in my comments, but that's fine. I did it a few years ago. It didn't go very well either. So, Memphis versus Maryland. I'm taking Memphis. Drake versus Texas Tech. I'm taking Texas Tech. You got Arkansas versus St. John. St. John will beat Arkansas. All right, on the other side, you got Duke versus Baylor. Really, really good matchup here. I still think Duke will beat them. I'll do this here. You got number 5, Oregon versus Arizona, number 4. I'm taking Arizona. Bayou versus Wisconsin. I'm not taking Bayou, I'm taking Wisconsin. Vanderbilt, very good story, versus Alabama. I don't see Vanderbilt beating Alabama, so number 2, Alabama continues. And on this bracket, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see, right there, you know I didn't do well. Houston versus Gonzaga. I don't see Houston losing that. Clemson, number 5 versus Purdue, number 4. I'm taking Clemson. Xavier versus Kentucky. Xavier, this is where they stop. Number 12, Kentucky. Kentucky, number 3. Utah State versus Tennessee. Sorry, Utah State, but Tennessee wins. So on this side, Sweet 16, I got 1 against 5. So Auburn versus Michigan. Number 6, Ole Miss versus Michigan State. On the bottom side here, I got UConn, number 8 versus Memphis, number 5. Texas Tech, number 3 versus St. John, number 2. On this side, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, Duke versus Arizona, so 1 versus 4. Wisconsin versus Alabama, so 2 versus 3. On the bottom here, I got Houston, 1 versus Clemson, 5. And then Kentucky, 3 versus Tennessee, 2. So we're going to start the Sweet 16 here. Auburn versus Michigan. This one's really, really hard, but I'm going to go with Auburn. And here, number 6 versus 2, Ole Miss versus Michigan State. I'm going to take Ole Miss. On this side, UConn versus Memphis. I'm going to go with UConn. There's something with this team that I don't know. It reminds me when they were really like one of the best teams. They're still very good, but there's something different this year. Texas Tech versus St. John. This one here, I'm going to take Texas Tech. On this side, Duke versus Arizona. Yeah, this one's really hard. Number 1 versus number 4. Very hard. I'm going to go with Arizona. After that, you got Wisconsin, number 3 versus Alabama, number 2. This one's really, really hard. I'm going to take Wisconsin. And then Houston versus Clemson. I'm sorry, Clemson. It's Houston that I think they're going to be very good here. Kentucky versus Tennessee. This one's really a coin flip here. I'm going to take Kentucky. All right, so in the Elite 8, I got Auburn 1 versus Ole Miss 6. UConn 8 versus Texas Tech 3. On the other side, Arizona 4 versus Wisconsin 3. Houston 1 versus Kentucky 3. So let's get into it. Auburn versus Ole Miss. Sorry, Ole Miss, but I think Auburn stays here. UConn versus Texas Tech. This one's going to be very hard here. I'm I'll continue with UConn here. On this side, Arizona versus Wisconsin. I'm going to go with Arizona. And then Houston versus Kentucky. It's going to be very close, but I'm taking Houston here. So Final Four, you got Auburn, UConn, number 8, Arizona, number 4, and Houston, number 1. So you got 2 number 1s here. So let's get into it. Auburn versus UConn. This one, I don't know what I'll do here. I don't think I can take 2 number 1s here. Yeah, I'm going to go with UConn. I don't know why I'm doing this, but number 8, UConn. Cinderella run, right? On the other side, Arizona versus Houston, 4 against 1. I think it's going to be a good matchup, but I still think that Houston is going to be hard to beat. And then I think that Houston wins. I really think Houston will win this March Madness. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Let me know how wrong I am. I'm pretty sure I'm really wrong. Like and subscribe. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you soon with more videos. See you guys.